as I walk through the valley of the sun. I cast a long shadow, and I know I have got to carry on. Footsteps, they fall on cracked, dusty ground. The sky is red, the wind is eerily gray. Facing something that I just can't define. Sun it sets, sky grows dark at time. I cast a long shadow as I walk through the valley of the sun. I cast a long shadow, and I know I have got to carry on. Where are you running to? What are you going to do? Can you be the things that you say? It's the end of the song. Go back where I belong. I hear a voice and it says, I cast a long shadow as
So
I
naughty that I know that you want to, watch a man that has a big dick make love to another woman over you, and that I, as a man, is giving my concept of a man to fight for the right to fight over you. As a woman that likes to watch guys fight over her pussy, I know it's crazy, but I do want to fight over your pussy. I love your pussy. And I know it's naughty, and I would fight any man over the right to fight for your pussy to show that I am tougher than any man else in Kelowna that wants to fight over you. Kind of sexy, right? I really would want to fight any guy over the right to fight to make love to you. It's naughty, I know. And I know that there's guys that might have bigger dicks than mine, but my dick is pretty big. And I will definitely put my penis on the line. The length on the line, the thickness on the line. Over fighting over the right to prove that I'm tougher than any of the guys that wants to fight over your pussy. And I know we are all so naughty. We are all so naughty. I know.
All right, welcome back to the Howard Stern of Pro Wrestling. Monte the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Mike Monte's room, the Pharaoh's room. And guess who's here? Straight out of Texas. Back again. Bruce CSO, how are you, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How's that weather up there in New York?
It sucks, man. It sucks.
I love it. What are you talking about?
Do you really, Jimmy?
Yeah. No place I'd rather be. Why?
You know, that was a good imitation of Captain Kirk. Got to be honest with you.
By the way, there's nothing more horrific starting off a show listening to your wonderful new tune and having it interrupted by a pussy rant from Hannibal. Thanks.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, thankfully, we didn't have to come right in after him. We at least had that little bit of a break with the intro.
Dude, I don't.
Man, that was.
I'm never giving up that video because you know what? We all want to be naughty at some time. Who uses the word naughty? I just don't get it. I don't understand.
He's a naughty boy.
Well, before we get into today's show, I got to ask you guys with this whole Hannibal thing going on. I've been trying to measure like what people are feeling out there, and I got to be honest with you. I almost think it's 80-20 anti-Hannibal. I mean, Jimmy, you've been reading the comments. Bruce, you've been reading the comments. What are you guys thinking?
Hilarious. Yeah, it's hilarious. I love the guy that was like, why does YouTube keep giving me these recommendations? The guy's got 58 comments, and I'm really glad you pointed that out. I'm like, bro, you've got 58 comments. What are you complaining about? You obviously get up every day and like, I can't wait to troll Monte and the Pharaoh.
Well, that guy, is that the guy that said he wanted to debate us?
I don't think, whatever.
There was a guy who wanted to debate us. So I said,
Yeah.
I flat out wrote the guy and I said, go to our webpage, give me your information.
Right.
And I'll have, I was going to have him on for about a 5-minute clip today, right? As long as he acted respectful, whatever.
Okay.
And, after all the talking, I figured, hey, here's your opportunity, dude. Nothing. He's nothing. Not one message.
He teaches hacky sack in Passaic. What? He's busy.
Well, teaches hacky sack. Does anyone even know what hacky sack is?
No, but it has the word sack in it. So
yes, that is true. No, but the fact of the matter is, it's like, guy realized he'd have to be on video and he'd have to debate us, right, on the situation. And how do you win that debate? I mean, when you sit there and you got the Hannibal has whatever 500,000 subscribers or whatever that bullshit is, right? And you've got 24 or whatever we got. I don't even know what is that debate. It's like, who's debating that?
Nobody. We never have.
Exactly. It's like, we're not claiming to be a bigger YouTube channel than him.
No.
You know what I mean? But I am claiming that we're a better show than his.
Of course.
Come on, please. All the guy does is read fucking Meltzer's dirt sheets and just regurgitate it all. You know what I'm saying? And then give his opinion on something he doesn't even pay attention to.
I think he's just panicking because, he had his time. And not to quote the great John Cena, but his time is, I'm not quoting him actually, his time is not now. And it's kind of bothering him. So we're under his skin. That's already been proven by eyewitnesses as per our guest last week. And hey, whatever, go scratch, Hannibal. Have fun.
Well, you got to realize the guy's now, 45, 46 years old. And he's always had that dream that he was going to get back into the ring. He was going to make it. He's going to make it. Somehow he's going to make it, especially with that amazing gimmick he had, that blood hunter thing. And lo and behold, he didn't make it.
He's had his opportunities. He was at least making, I'll give him some credit. I mean, he was making some noise on some level. But every time he starts to even make some noise on some level, he blows it up. So there's that. That's nobody's fault. I hate that, little Robert Plant, nobody's fault but mine. Right. I mean, it is what it is with him.
Listen,
talent.
All of you guys got to realize, we're not allowed to have these opinions.
That's true.
Realize
Shut
that.
up, Bruce. That's true. Be quiet. You're right.
No, but I mean, you bring a valid point, though. The guy did get his foot through the door.
Yeah, of course.
But, again, a lot of people get their foot through the door. It's do you knock the door down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if a lot of people get their foot through the door. It is a credit that he got his foot through the door. You know what's the difference between us and someone like the way he's been? At least we'll say some positive things. We're saying some right now. He'll never say a positive thing about us fans, the people who butter the bread of all the wrestlers.
Even mention the show's name. I mean, come on already. Everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the whole mindset of if I don't mention it, no one will know who they are. Of course they know who we are. It's like, just stop it already.
Well, he
You know what
puts
I mean?
this in his thumbnails. By the way, are those thumbnails trademarked? We should look into that.
That's a good point.
He puts our face in the thumbnails, wrestling nerds. I'm like, yeah, that's the first thing I think of, especially back in the day, right, Mike, when you were seeing War Dance in those packed out theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bro, there's a nerd. Look at all those chicks that nerd's running off with. Yeah, okay.
Again,
Whatever.
I'll go with the
Right.
comment that, you know what, just because you weren't in pro wrestling doesn't mean you can't comment on it. Just because you're
Right.
not in baseball doesn't mean you can't comment on it.
Right,
Just
shut up,
because
Joe
you don't.
Benigno? I mean, right?
Right.
What?
Well, let me ask you this. If you think about it, why should he be able to comment on wrestling news when he was never in the WWE or AEW, right? Just
Right,
because he bought a promotion and paid people to come. Anyone can do that. Listen, dude, if I wanted to be a wrestler, I can make my own organization, bring all these indie guys in, pay a major star and wrestle him.
Right.
I mean, listen, everybody's like, oh, he wrestled AJ Styles. Yeah, he caught AJ Styles when AJ Styles was fucking making no money.
You know, Mike, you bring up a really interesting thought I just had, too. A guy like Shawn Michaels, or a guy like Triple H, or rest in peace, a guy like Scott Hall, you think any one of them would, when Hannibal makes his claims of being in the business, while, of course, we have no right to an opinion, I bet you any one of those three would probably look at him and go, hey, Shawn, that guy thinks he's in the business.
Right.
You want to bet?
That definitely was a behind the scene thing. Like,
Yeah, how much you want to bet?
Yeah.
You know,
and Scott Hall was probably like, that big motherfucker. He's a big motherfucker, but that guy's a dumbass. You know what I'm saying?
They would have buried him. Look, rest in peace to our buddy Mike Mantor. When we met him, he was probably easily, and I'm sure you can vouch for this, Mike. He was the widest back and neck and I'd ever seen. And there's no doubt that physically, in real life, he would have been a problem for a garbage truck, you know. So just because Hannibal was big, I'm telling you, they would have buried him. He never would have gone anywhere.
Yeah, but the difference is, Jimmy and Bruce, I think like Hannibal would go over the edge. Like something's wrong there. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
There's something not right there, in my opinion. That's all.
Yeah. He's
Anyway,
real.
this wasn't supposed to be. Anyway, it's our year-end review. I'm excited. You know, Happy New Year's to everybody out there. We'll read some comments in a little bit. Well, maybe I'll read some comments now before we start.
Who's out there in TV land?
Let me
Apple, Bruce?
switch out of the gimmick.
Kenny Corey Apple.
Let me see what we got here. Well, Bruce is on there. So we've got Bruce is on there. Let me see. We've got John Riccardi. John, always good to see you, buddy. I love Big John's a good guy, man.
What's up, John? How are you, sir?
Let me see here. We've got Disney Zombie. He's always in for us. We've got
there we go. How you doing?
Phil DeCesare, the most built man, radio star. He's a radio star, folks.
Roids.
And we got Bruce. Well, Phil, Phil's a good guy, man.
I love Phil. Phil's a great guy.
It does make me laugh. I'm not gonna get into it. When I see him on watching these other shows, I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Phil likes to be friendly.
There's no way that Phil thinks those shows are good, is what I'm trying to say to you.
You think so? I don't know. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Why would Phil watch them if he doesn't? Does he just watch them?
Because the guy is a good guy. That's just like
So
people are good.
You mean to tell me that Phil, during the regular course of his day, is like, I think I'll watch that show I don't particularly like, so I'll make them feel good. That's weird. Mike.
No, I think he puts it on because maybe he's working out or maybe he's driving.
Oh, okay.
And then he always has to throw in great show, guys. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because, but deep inside, he's like, oh boy,
he's encouraging our fellow brethren.
This is a fucking mess. This is a mess. Got one guy with a fucking Soviet Union jacket on. It's like, just stop it already. And the other guy just staring out into the picture. Whatever, dude. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, guys. Weigh in on this. Let me see. HHS cuts off child care payments over alleged daycare fraud scheme. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Resources will freeze all child care payments to Minnesota, the agency said Tuesday, amid the scrutiny surrounding alleged fraud involving child daycare centers across the state. You'll probably have to read a serious allegations the state of Minnesota was funneled millions of taxpayers' dollars to fraudulent daycare workers across Minnesota over the past decade, dude. And who breaks it but some fucking YouTuber? And you know this guy. This guy is gonna his YouTube channel is just blowing up right now. And you know President Trump is all over that shit, right? Independent journalist breaks the scam, dude. What do you guys think about that?
Did you say he was a Trump supporter? Did you just say that?
Well, I tell you what, President Trump was all over this because, you know, what was it? The governor of Minnesota was Kamala Harris's running mate, right? Is that true?
$2 billion, though. A $2 billion scam. That is crazy. And this kid he went to the daycares. That is awesome. That's an American. That's a patriot. He went out there. He proved it. He's knocking on the doors. There's nobody there. There was one place.
How sloppy is that, by the way?
There was one place that the sign was misspelled outside.
Yes.
That had gotten like $2 million. That is insane.
It was misspelled, Jimmy. It was
It said leading center, or Leering Center.
Leering Center. Wow.
Well, you know why they get sloppy, Jimmy? It was going on for decades, right?
Okay.
It's like at some point, it's like, hey, this gravy train ain't going nowhere until some YouTuber decides to go check it out.
I guess the 4 Super Bowl losses has put Minnesota in a state of disarray, like emotionally.
Well, let me ask you guys a legitimate question, though. You are voted in as governor of Minnesota, right? Do you think you should be held liable for jail time because you're the governor?
Well,
and you didn't get this caught?
How many crooked things have happened under your watch? Does not a lousy football coach, unless you're the Jets, do they not usually get fired after proving how badly they suck?
Well, they get fired, but in this case, do you think
you
should be held legally liable?
Well, if there was a Jet jail, I would have put the owner of the Jets in the jail, to be very honest. But, you know, if there
was a Jet jail, knowing the Jets, everybody would escape and be running around in the streets anyway. So
that's true. And then they would be drafting the quarterback from a payphone. You're right.
That's right.
You're right. They would have. Awful.
Jimmy, not to veer off this, but I got to ask this question now, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You were kind of like, not that you were drinking the Aaron Glenn New York Jet, but you were feeling maybe there was a possibility. Has that feeling now left you?
Interesting. All right, I'll do my best to make it quick. What we last left off with the half glass full, and I told you I was only entertaining the subject to entertain the subject.
Understood.
It was in November when they had the nerve to win 3 or 5 games after that 0-7 start, and I actually saw people trying. This was after the trade.
Right.
The trades where they got all the draft picks. So I said, okay, and now that's what you want to see. And then they went on to set an NFL record for the most ineptitude when it comes to points, and they're the worst. I've never seen anything like this over the last 4 games. It's the worst in NFL history, what the Jets have done in December. Unlike the Saints, who were at the time lousy, but in the last month, you see the trajectory. They're playing better. They're catching the system. The coach is grooming a quarterback. Things are happening, so a bad team is getting better. Something to look forward to next year. We are the drizzle. Forget the drizzling. We're the pouring shits. Get this guy out of here. That's it. The odds are so astronomically against him turning around this franchise. You can look it up. There's a 50-year sample size that only 4 in the last 50 years have been able to take their team and turn. Forget it. Forget it. You got to get Mike McCarthy, or you got to get someone in here who's proven that knows what they're doing. Let them draft the goddamn quarterback. By the way, I wanted Jackson Dart. Nobody listens to me. I wanted Sean Payton. How's he doing with the Broncos? Nobody listens to me. And these other people get paid on FAN, and I'm sitting. What? Come on.
One thing I will say, all the players that we traded off, all the teams that they gave us all this stuff, they're all stuck.
So GM, it's like, I actually want to stay. That's part of my strange, thoughts on the future. I want the GM to stay. He's shown that he can play chess. But I'm hoping he goes to Woody
he
and
hasn't
goes,
shown he
"Listen,
can play chess yet, Jimmy, because he's got to draft decent players.
That's true, but the trade so far, what he's done, excellent job. He's done a great job. We fleeced those teams. Aaron Glenn's a moron.
To get off the Jet talk, but I'll leave you with this. On Netflix, they have the John Elway documentary, which is fantastic. And here I am waiting for the scene when he plays the Jets, and the Jets are up 10-0 at half. And what was he thinking? Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? They literally showed 1 second of the game, Denver Jets, whatever the final score was, 20-10 or whatever.
23-10. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was that was it. Not one word. I was like, oh my God, we are this irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too. And that, sadly enough, was the best Jet team we've seen in our lifetime, because we were too small for Joe. That's the bottom line. The 98 Jets were better than the 9 and 10 teams with Mark Sanchez. They were better, the 98 Jets.
So those early 80 teams. Those early 80 teams, they had 80s teams.
Not better. Not with Bill Parcells, Vinny Testaverde, Curtis Martin, and a very solid defense. No, they were not better. They had Richard Todd in the Mud Bowl, 14-0. No, the Vinny Testaverde, Curtis Martin, and most importantly, Bill Parcells, New York Jets were 12-4 that year. Won the division. They were way better than the 81 Jets that lost in the Mud Bowl.
How about the Rex Ryan Jets?
Rex Ryan Jets were good, but what they lacked was the head coach. Like if we went head to head, and Parcells versus Rex, Parcells wins. Curtis Martin versus the 9 and 10 running game, Curtis Martin wins. Keyshawn Johnson versus no, they win, and their defense also was just as solid, if not better, the 98 Jets. So no,
it's fair.
Just a better team. Vinny Testaverde had 29 touchdowns and 7 interceptions that year. He was a Pro Bowler. They were great. We all know what happened in '99. One game in and Vinny's ACL goes. It's like Aaron Rodgers Part 1.
Typical Jets, and Aaron Rodgers is on his way to the playoffs. That's
most likely. He's got to win next week, but yeah.
No, they're in. Aren't they in?
Have they made it? Okay.
Yeah, I think they're in.
You'll forgive me. I've been trying not to think about Aaron Rodgers.
I understand. All right. Well, in the bag of dirt, Ted DiBiase Jr. Let's see what's going on with our friend Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh, no.
DiBiase's trial set for Ted DiBiase in Mississippi over the welfare fraudulent fraud case. Federal judge has set a January trial date for Ted DiBiase Jr., former professional wrestler, charged in Mississippi's ongoing welfare fraud case, which I'm pretty sure Brett Favre got out of, where he was part of that at some point, wasn't he?
Yeah, I believe he was. What a mess.
Dude, I gotta say something. Like, we knew this was going on when we had DiBiase in studio, and I don't know why we didn't ask him about it.
Because it's touchy as shit, and I guess it was something we didn't fucking feel too comfortable about. How about that for an answer?
Well, how about this though? If you're stealing, like, who steals from wealth? Like, who does this?
It's beyond. No, it's just beyond. It's just, look, anything involving kids and women is usually not especially kids. What on earth? And Brett Favre, how did Brett Favre get out of it, by the way? Why? It's funny how that's just, oh, by the way, Brett Favre's out of it. Really? What happened?
I don't know, dude. You know what? I didn't, this thing's been going on for so long. It's got to be going on for 3 or 4 years, right? It was happening when we had DiBiase in studio. How long ago was that?
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't originally the father, Ted DiBiase was involved originally too, and then got out of it somehow too, right?
Yeah. Wow. I believe that the other son also is he serving time in prison right now?
That I can't answer. What is it? We've unfortunately had to inspect a lot of different aspects of evil. What is it about somebody that gets involved in sometimes religious directions and does either indirectly or directly shit like this?
Hey, B40 says the Steelers do have to win to get in, Jimmy. So you're right, 100%.
Thought. Yeah.
Our friend Rib Shot's in the house. He's saying everybody's got a price.
Yeah.
By the way, Rib got a little mad. Rib got a little mad at us.
Why? What happened now?
we put on the short with the whole story where he was getting the strikes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I juiced the title a little bit. That's
Okay.
that's just the game a little bit.
Welcome to the jungle. Go on.
And
Axel.
the Rib was like, "Yo, bro, I'm getting a lot of heat off of this," and I never said. He's like,
Good.
"I never said that." I go, "Dude, I never actually put it in quotes."
First of all, whether you had a sensational title or not, Rib was probably going to get heat because people just lived to do
Oh
stuff
yeah, well
like
that's I said that to him. I'm like,
Rib,
dude,
that's
you're
good,
gonna get
Rib.
heat.
Don't worry about it, man. Wait till they start saying
Absolutely.
things about like what they say to me. Wait till they start saying things about your mother and your wives or your ex-wives, or your cousins, your dog.
Yeah, but
Wait,
you know
talk
what,
about
dude?
you?
Rib's not built like us, dude. You can tell
not?
he's just a nice guy. He's a nice guy. We're not that nice, Jimmy and
Give
Bruce.
Rib-
We know Bruce isn't
Whoa,
nice. That's for
whoa.
sure.
give
What are you
Rib a
talking
year.
about? I don't know what you're talking
It'll be
about.
fine.
I like Rib though, man.
Yeah.
I do. I like him. He's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
he did a great job too on the interview too, man. That cartoon thing, man. Good
I
lord.
wish he was from the U.S. though.
Why? What?
I don't know. I'm just like, I don't even like I have trouble watching movies with like from England and
Do
stuff.
you have
I don't like it.
you know what I wanted to ask you? Do you and Bruce? You could chime in too. Do you have a problem with British accents? I love them.
I grew up around him, so I have absolutely no issue around him.
I think Mike doesn't like the Brits a little bit. Why? What's
Not a
wrong,
fan.
Mike?
Not a fan. I like
What, you
Rib,
didn't-
but I'm just
Okay,
like,
so-
dude, I don't like movies with like English actors. It just annoys the shit out of me. I
So
don't know
Doctor
why.
Who. So Doctor Who.
Doctor
drives you
Who
crazy.
pissed me off, bro. I couldn't stand that.
Wow.
Oh, I hated
That's
Doctor
terrible, Mike. That's terrible. That's one of my favorite shows. What's wrong with you?
Who. Anytime like Star Trek would have some alien that like had English accent, they used to piss me off. I like turn the episode.
You
off.
don't
I'm
get
like,
excited when you hear Olivia Newton-John speak?
No James Bond.
No, but she's from Australia, dude.
That's the same accent. They're all Brit cast-offs. What's wrong with you? Well, historically they are, but I love Australia too, by the way. What the hell's wrong with
Australian accents don't bother me. It's
you?
English
It's the
accent.
same thing, you wanker. What's wrong with you?
Like the kid from WSI. I just want to slap the shit out of that kid. Man.
Well,
That's different.
Why is that different? Why?
Because he's got boo-boo face and he wants his tea and crumpets. What's wrong
No,
with you?
he's got that stupid ass tattoo, which really annoys me, man.
Tattoo?
It's
What,
like he's
the
that
one-
Shawn Michaels tattoo.
He does?
Yeah.
Wow, you really notice stuff. I didn't.
Well, you can see it's not the Shawn Michaels tattoo, but it's like Shawn Michaels tattoo placed in the middle of the arm with like a heart and a sword through it. It's like so fucking annoying, right? That's what the kid does too. What's his name again?
James.
James. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
James Romero. That's it.
Look at you knowing the full name. You
Bruce,
fucking
he
mark.
knows him. He loves James Romero. Bruce loves James Romero.
Caesar
Is that true?
Romero?
I wonder if Rib asked James if he could put his shit up. Did he say that on
James
our
is a
show,
little bit of
Jimmy?
a dick like that. Because I approached somebody who was coming to the U.S. about maybe coming onto your show, and he kind of blew us off.
Oh, you did? What'd you say to him?
It's you, Bruce.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, why not? That
You
would've
said,
been a
"Hey,
cool-
you want to come on the U.S.?" And he
No,
said,
I
fuck
said, hey,
you."
you're coming. I said you're coming in. It was around the same time as some event was going on, and he just never got back to me. And we know how he's spoken about you guys since then.
He doesn't like
He's
us.
very special.
He hasn't spoken about you.
Well, I will tell you this: he follows only 3 people on TikTok, and we're one of them.
Oh.
Which means absolutely nothing, by the way. But like,
Oh.
I'm just saying, I noticed that, right?
Yeah, but even his views have been tanking recently.
Well, he has no Dutch Mantel. If you don't have Dutch Mantel, what are you going to expect?
Come on, he's got Stevie though.
Explain that one to me, man. How is Stevie Richards this possible? How is Stevie Richards this popular? Please explain. Explain, Lucy.
It's like Dutch Mantel. Dutch Mantel was not very popular when he was a wrestler, but for some reason after, look at Maven. Maven's blowing up. How big?
Look,
That's the same thing.
I'll be honest. They're all good talkers. At the end, they are.
Let's go a little deeper. Why are they good talkers,
Well,
Jimmy?
Stevie Richards, I think, is a good talker. I don't mind listening to his stories. Well, I go out of listen. First of all, disclaimer: I won't go out of my way, as you know, to listen to anybody. But Steve Richards is fine the way he talks. Dutch Mantel is a fucking walking cartoon character. You know, all things aside, no, he was never the wrestler that, you know, his YouTube success is translated, but he's got a lot of stories. He was in a lot of different places, and yeah, he could talk. You know, Maven, come on, when he came in, and yeah, he totally forgets about, you know, that he was in with us beforehand, but when he came in, we thought to ourselves, God, the guy's got such a great personality. He can really talk. He has charisma, to quote Gene Simmons. He's got charisma. You know, so am I surprised that any of them are doing well on
Yeah,
YouTube?
dude, you know what?
No.
I got to give credit where credit's due, right?
No.
Dutch Mantel is a very good podcaster.
Yeah. I
Stevie
don't know. Look,
Richards
he
actually
canceled on us.
drags me in. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. He canceled on us how many times? We wanted him on several times, and he canceled. No one, you know. So when we think he's a douche, you know, it's because he's kind of a douche. Oh well.
Hold on, Rib. I got to not put my glasses on because now Rib's got to see what Rib says. Rib's
Hey,
probably
you're
hates me.
breaking character for Rib. Rah.
Mike said during our chat that the Brits stay neutral like the Swiss,
No, they
a
don't.
nation known for war and conquering half the world, by the way.
Yes.
That's because people want you out of their fucking country. They're like, good win. Just get out of here.
What?
Fucking take your tea and cryptids. Get out.
Look,
Listen, I
eventually
love
they.
Rib, though. I actually said to Rib, I feel like we actually gained a friend. He's a really good guy. So I felt I did. Joel joking aside, I did feel bad for him that he was a little upset that he was getting a little bit of heat.
Well,
But
he's not
these, you know,
used to
listen,
it.
man, people hate
Not used
Monte
to
the Pharaoh, so it's just the way it is, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it
All
started
right,
early.
let's get going here, man. With good talk so far, very fun. Bruce, can't Benny me, buddy. Gotta get moving.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I had posted on we had brought back an old interview and I had posted an old debate, and it's still getting the love that it did when it originally started, man. Now we're WWE guys, or if you want to be more positive, WWF, or if you really want to get really WWF. So the discussion at the time when Ken Patera was in studio, how many years ago, Jimmy, was that?
Probably 5.
Yeah, and was who was the greater wrestler? And we mean wrestler, we meant the whole package, not wrestler. Who cares, right? Whole package.
Part
The
of it.
great Bruno Sammartino or Hulk Hogan. And I thought it would be a nice little quick time to have that discussion.
I gotta go with Hogan. I grew up in the Hogan era. In my time, Bruno was just that man in the behind the announce desk. Once in a while, he got into the ring. I know before my time how big he was, but he never had the national exposure that Hogan had. Hogan took wrestling from the Northeast to the world.
What do you think,
There was
Jimmy?
there was a time when Bruno Sammartino was the center of the WWF and WWF universe. He was the Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan. But it was, like Bruce said, it was territorial. And Hogan, obviously, and it's not just the business argument, it's also the storytelling argument and the proportion of audience Hogan brought into the attention of the wrestling world. Hulk Hogan is Babe Ruth. If wrestling had turned out to remain sport, then that means that this whole subject changes and that Hogan was not the next one, and someone of Sammartino, Backlund proportion would have been the next one, and it would have remained a sport if kayfabe had never been broken. But it was, and Hogan was the great face of it all, of everything, storytelling. You know, I still hate to this day that he doesn't get credit for. I thought that to be respected as a wrestler, you need to come up a certain way. And he came up through the roughest of ranks, even though the invitation was easy and it was easy to get to the front door to get the training. But who's signing up for a broken leg from Matsuda and coming back and trying again and learning how to chain wrestle? You've seen his early matches in Japan. For God's sakes, the IWGP first champion is him. What exactly do you need to do coming up in the business to get any kind of goddamn respect? Never mind the fact that what he went on to. Why is that never talked about?
You
That
know,
doesn't work for me, brother.
another argument kind of against Bruno is, especially since I've left New York. I've realized how much we in the Northeast had Bruno shoved down our throats. But once you get out of there, he wasn't as big once you get down into the South or you get into the Midwest. There were other, the other big names kind of overtook those territories. So, that's another thing.
Well, you got to remember, guys like Bruno, Mike, please chime in on this. Guys like Bruno Sammartino fall into in other areas like Harley Race falls into up here.
Well, here's
The
my
time
take.
period.
Here's my take on it. I'm a Hogan guy, right? It wasn't that I wasn't a Sammartino guy. I was a Hogan guy, but I came late to the game. So Sammartino was on the back end. I remember when he was in, again, I was on the back end. And Jimmy, to be fair, you were kind of you were towards on the back end, even though you were closer to the middle than I was, right?
It's strange with Sammartino because the first time I saw wrestling was with the Wolfman in 1975 when they put the X across the screen.
Sure.
Bruno was doing his thing.
So you're like mid-end at that point, though, right?
Mid his second end reign.
Right.
So I did see some of him as champ.
Here's what more than anything, Bruno made Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And Bruno had such a hold on Madison Square Garden, every other wrestler, their career was not made until they got to wrestle in the Garden.
And to hammer that home, do you remember a show that was aired on ABC, which was nationwide, ABC Channel 7, George Plimpton's Wide World of Sports? And this was a big television show that was on weekly during the 70s on Channel 7. Bruno Sammartino was the subject of one. And it really impressed me because that was around the time that I was becoming aware of wrestling. And they showed this Rolls Royce pulling up and out steps Bruno Sammartino. The previous week was like Joe Namath. They were equating professional wrestling with the respectability, since it was sold as a sport back then, as football, baseball, and Bruno was the man. So yeah, coming to Madison Square Garden was a big deal for somebody wrestling in Texas, somebody wrestling somewhere else in another territory. It was the biggest deal. A lot of our guests have confirmed that.
And let's not forget this. When Hogan, first of all, Vince Sr., Hogan was a heel, right? A big guy. He was the heel. He was Andre the Giant's foil, right? When he went and did Rocky, again, we had Greg Gagne on, and I know, Jimmy, I hold Greg Gagne in very high esteem as a wrestler. I do. But I will say this. After the whole Power Town thing, I've lost all respect in the world for the guy.
Yeah,
and that won't go away. But I will say this. Vern Gagne gets a lot of credit for changing Hulk Hogan. I call bullshit on that because when he went there, he was a heel. And it just happened to be the Rocky movie made him very popular, and they ran with it. That's all. The crowd made him.
The fans made that decision. That decision was going to happen no matter what.
Right. So if Vince Jr. doesn't take over the WWE, who knows what happens with Hogan? So reality of it, the star here is Vince Sr. God knows what Vince could have done with Bruno. But I got to be honest with you. I said it to Patera. I did not like Bruno's mic work. When he got mad, I liked his mic work, but he rarely got mad. Right. His wrestling was kicking and punching, but he had the it factor, which I cannot deny. Hogan had the mic skills. He wrestled just as well as Bruno did. Let's get realistic. And he had more charisma.
It's almost unfair to compare the two styles because one is much more based in realism, which was his time period. Hogan is much more over the top because it's over the top wrestling during that time period. Bruno, the one thing I will say about Bruno was believability. You believe Bruno was stronger than the guy in there. He could outlast him. He could throw him around. Bruno was tough. There was no doubt about that. It's just a different time period. So different. Hogan was just as believable because Hogan was immense. And his era was more entertainment. It was about theater. And yeah, we all did believe he was big enough and strong enough to pick up the biggest man in the world, Andre. Totally believable. Same degrees of believability. Very different times.
Agreed. Just on Click this week, Kevin Nash came out and said that it's time for CM Punk to hang it up. You can't have a wrestler that won't take his shirt off as your champion. He says that CM Punk's lost a step, still has the mic skills. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Bruce, you want to go first?
All right, the guy is 47 years old. You can't say he hasn't lost a step. Is he good in the ring? Yes. He and Cena had a great match earlier this year, but overall, he couldn't hold up. He can't hold up like the guys used to. But at the same time, he's still drawing money. He's he's got his place. But he's getting to that age. When we were younger, the average age of a wrestler was probably 32 to 35. Now this seems like the average wrestler is 47. They're getting older and older. So I don't know. I don't get it.
I'd say that, it's fair to say, obviously, he's lost a step, but he's still worth every penny. As far as him wearing a shirt, I mean, are we going to really start that whole conversation? Kevin Owens has spent his whole career wearing a shirt. Who cares? It all depends on whether or not you get over with your presentation. And CM Punk is still getting over. And Mike, we've talked about this a lot. Let's see if anybody can answer me this question, because the ultimate argument would be, well, he's taking somebody else's spot. Okay.
Who?
Present tense. This roster. Whose spot? Was he taking one of the Uso spots or something? He ain't taking that are going to draw more than him and that are the future. Who's he stepping aside for? That's going to carry this company the way Roman Reigns did and John Cena before him.
What's this main event roster going to look like in 5 years?
I mean,
guys, that's for a talk that we're moving down. We're going to hit that talk. Where are we in the state of wrestling? And there's some really interesting comments we're going to have.
All right.
I got to be fair with you. We'll talk about it. There's a lot to say. Kevin Nash, famous for being fast in the ring and wrestling with his shirt off. That's a good point, Rib.
There you go.
Again, Kevin Nash. Listen, CM Punk, Kevin Nash, they're all major players. I want to tell everybody too, just real quick. We've got a new sponsor at Monte The Pharaoh. It starts on January 1st. Let me pull it up here because I don't have my shit together. We want to welcome FanDuel to Monte The Pharaoh. We start January 1st, where they're officially a sponsor on the Monte The Pharaoh show. We'll be putting out the links just like we have for Level 500. So we're very excited to have FanDuel with Monte The Pharaoh.
Now that's too sweet.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
All
right, 2025 wasn't so bad as far as wrestling deaths. We've had some major ones again.
Wasn't?
It just didn't seem as bad, but we'll go through it.
This year seemed terrible across all the boards. But go on.
You're probably right. I'm probably speaking out of my mouth. But
this year the Reaper came running around like
Sabu, ECW legend, passed away 2025. Thoughts on Sabu, please?
Loved him. I mean, sure, we only met him one time as far as, having him on the
Passed
show.
away in May at age 60, by the way.
One of those last wrestlers that you really believed was absolutely psychotic and you ran away from. I mean, up until he retired, I mean, that guy he seemed crazy.
Hey, he lived fast. This is true. Look, I never met a more honest as far as our guest went, I never met a more honest guy, but Mike will vouch that he had his guard dropped that day. He was definitely feeling a lot of pain, and I don't know, it was just a very honest day. Mike, you remember the embrace and stuff like that, and
that was again, I wasn't a huge ECW guy. Obviously, I knew how great Sabu was, but that interview was just raw emotion. You could catch it. You could see the whole interview. You could see clips. But the one thing you won't see, at the end of the interview, there was some healing going on because, me and Jimmy left the table. Sabu got off the couch, and the three of us had to be a 2-minute embrace as Sabu cried in our arms. And it was, it was pretty fucking amazing. And, I felt a lot of pain for him, and the more and more I thought about that interview, well after is, I don't know what happened between him and Melissa Coates that night, but he certainly was carrying some demons, whether he was just missing her or something else. Anyway, long story short is that was a guy who literally, in my opinion, changed the industry, but never got his flowers. A lot of people go, he gets his flowers. People talk about how great he is. He never got the money. He was a living day to day.
He could have been a main event talent for at least a run. Look, like back in the old days, guys like Killer Khan got the main event for a month or two. I mean, he could have. It's a different kind of wrestler, but the bottom line is that he could have gotten a run. I thought he was worthy of that, but shit, most of Paul Heyman's presentations as world champions, I believed, if pushed right, could have gotten a run. When Taz came in and choked out Kurt Angle at the Garden, I don't care how small he was. I knew how small he was in ECW. He was a little pit bull monster that was booked like a fucking Goldberg almost. He Brooklyn choked you out. And it was believable. And if it wasn't believable, then the Kurt Angle thing, the place would have exploded the way it did.
That's such a great point. It was so believable, but at some point it became unbelievable, and that's where it fell
when you
apart.
book them poorly, that's what's going to happen, because perception is reality.
Right.
Look, we're asked as viewers to suspend our belief, and that's what we do. So if you see Taz starting to get diminished, you're going to think less of him. That's the way it's being presented. I watched Dolph Ziggler go from red hot. Remember his cash-in? His cash-in all those years ago was one of the greatest moments in WWE history. The crowd was drooling for him. His everything about it was incredible. How'd you look at Dolph Ziggler like a year or two later? It's all perception on how they're presented, and that's getting back to Heyman, Sandman, Sabu, Taz, RVD, all of them. Every single one of them I looked at and said, that could have been a world champion, sure, for a short time. Raven, fuck yeah. Raven was great in ECW, and I did get the feeling
I'm sorry, that guy's stupid as shit, dude.
You know what's weird about Raven?
He is one dumb motherfucker, man. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Here's what's frustrating, and I think we've tried to get him on a couple of times. What's frustrating about him, all I can gather from him is that he's what you said he is, but he's also fucking really smart. So I can't figure him out at all. I'm like, what the hell? Totally unreliable, but selectively brilliant. I guess that's all.
Maybe maybe he has a selective brilliance about him. You know what? That's probably right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I just listened to his interviews and they're a drag. I got to be honest with you. I'm like, this guy's.
Bruce, did you like ECW? I know Mike didn't follow him, but Mike definitely learned to love these guys in person. But
it was a hard time following them back then, and by the time we really started to be able to get them, they got the TNT deal. It was on the way out. It was just such a short-lived period that you could actually enjoy them. I read a lot about ECW, but I didn't get to watch a lot of ECW.
Oh, because you were in Poughkeepsie, you didn't get them on Madison Square Garden Network like we did on Long Island. Okay. All right.
So, once in a while, not like, MSG wasn't readily available. So,
okay. Interesting.
It was part of one of the packages.
Mr. Electricity, Steven Regal, NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, known for his charisma, died July at age 73, confirmed it with the news confirmed in December. So I guess he died in December, but they announced it in July.
This one hit me neutral, Mike. Any help here? Because I remember reading the name in the mags, but
I remember him in the AWA a little bit. Had a good look to me, but didn't really know him, bro. Got to be honest with you.
Yeah, no. Just faint magazine memories. Bruce, any recall in the magazine?
I just vaguely remember him and Jimmy Garvin and Precious being a team at one point, but
interesting.
I was a little kid back then, so
a good look. He had a good look, at least in my opinion, anyway.
Sure, flamboyant for shit, sure.
Let me see here. We've got William Freezer Thompson, a beloved figure in the Mid-South and Memphis circus. Thompson passed away in December.
Big dude, man. No recall, Mike. I got to be honest. I ain't
dude, we're not going to know everybody, man. You know what I mean? But we're recognizing them. What do we got here? We've got Vince Steele also listed. Is that Vince? No, I'm sorry. Knuckles Madsen. Sorry, guys. Another name from Wrestling Fandom's list of 2,025 deaths. Don't know him, but rest in peace, brother.
Huh.
We
Yes, I
did
agree.
talk about him. Vince
Yeah.
Steele, also
Yeah, I
listed
remember.
among who passed away. That's a guy who died. We were interviewing someone who knew Vince. I think it was a
Right.
dude from Florida, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't
People
remember his
got
name.
people got
What's it?
mad, didn't they?
Well, he died during the match, which just totally sucks.
Right. Right.
Tell me if you know this guy. I'm doing this on purpose to you.
What?
Robert Bob Horn, the charismatic Arkansas wrestler who trained and died after a fight with a blood infection and pneumonia. Did you know that wrestler?
No. Should I?
Neither did I until I realized it was Mo, right?
Oh.
From Men on a Mission.
Was he the one that was doing the YouTube stuff, or is that his partner? Am I getting
No,
up?
is it Mo?
Is it Oscar? Was the other guy? I can't remember. Somebody help me.
God, we
Mo and
suck.
Mabel, Men on a Mission.
No, Mo, Mabel, and Oscar. Oscar's the one
It
that was
was
on with
Oscar.
Marati. So that is Mo.
Okay.
How'd you like Men on a Mission?
Not particularly. No, didn't work for me. Didn't work.
Three
You?
Lucky Doors says he remembered Regal from the AWA on ESPN.
What'd you think of Men on a Mission?
I like Men on a Mission, dude.
You
I
liked
did.
them?
They were okay. I mean, I didn't run to the arena to go see them, but
I mean, you liked
they
them
were
like,
okay.
you know, Edge and Christian? You liked them? Or, you know,
I know. Come on. I'm not. Don't get silly.
I'm just saying, Men on a Mission.
Let me put it this way. This is the way I look at things. If I say Men on a Mission and both of you guys know who I'm talking about,
Oh, yeah.
they've done their job.
Oh, well, Conquistadors. So there.
Well,
Yeah.
I bet you Bruce doesn't know the Conquistadors.
Yes,
Do you
he
remember the
does.
Conquistadors,
Yeah,
Bruce?
absolutely. It could have been many different people there. The guys in the gold costume.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you see, that's not fair because who were the original
What?
Conquistadors, Bruce?
I have no idea.
There you
Go
go.
ahead, Mike.
Because the Conquistadors were Edge and Christian at one point. That's
Right.
what Bruce remembers.
Yeah.
No. Back in I didn't even realize they were. But no, I remember the conquistadors back in the 80s.
Well, Mike, don't leave everybody hanging. Who was it?
Jose Estrada and Jose Luis Rivera.
Right, we had
by the way,
Jose
you can
Luis.
catch that. You don't see that interview much at all either.
Yeah, that was, he was cool.
We had the Conquistador. I mean, come on, dude. That rocks,
Yeah, he was cool.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest name in 2025, the icon Hulk Hogan. You guys want to weigh in on that, please?
This
All
one
right,
still
Bruce.
gets me. This one, I don't even know where to start. I mean, my entire wrestling fandom. I mean, that the day that happened, I hate to say it, kind of changed my world. Hulk Hogan was wrestling. I think with him and Vince both not being involved in wrestling right now, it's just not what it used to be. Hulk Hogan, I don't even know where to start with Hulk Hogan and how much he meant to my wrestling fandom. So, and I'll pass it on to you, Jimmy.
You know, I watched him since I was 12, and I finally got to meet him just a few years ago, and I got to tell him that I basically feel that he's the Beatles of wrestling, and the way he's the reason for everything there is today. And I thanked him, and he seemed genuinely like surprised at that comparative. I guess being a musician is what started the whole thing when he was found in the first place. So he seemed to like that comment, and I got to be honest, he seemed healthy. He seemed like the Hulkster. He seemed strong, and he seemed fine, you know. And if there's one wrestler I've obviously thought about the most this year, it's Hogan. Most of this year has been either worried about Hulk Hogan or grieving over Hulk Hogan. And I know the late 70s was a long time ago, and the first time I ever looked at him, the very first time, I said to myself right away, like, wow. And if you're a little kid going, wow, and Mike, it was the kind of wow that I did, like the first time I saw a Kiss album cover. Wow.
Mm.
You know, in the 1970s, like the first time you saw the $6 Million Man, and there's Andre the Giant as Bigfoot. Wow.
Yeah.
It's one of those wows. And he wasn't even Hulkamania yet. And I went, wow, there's a world champ. I wouldn't want to be Bob Backlund. You know what I mean? I was like, ooh,
Sure.
Bob Backlund's in trouble. We lost the greatest wrestler in the history of the business. I don't care what your definition is of it. We don't have what we have today without him.
Well, I think before he had brought it up that he said Stallone made Hogan. I'm not going to disagree with that at
No, it's
all.
definitely part of it. It's part of it.
Um, I mean, my start for the love of Hogan was for Rocky 3 because I could remember I was a professional wrestling fan thanks to Jimmy in junior high.
Hmm.
And wrestling, if we all know, we all love wrestling. And back in the day, if you were a wrestling fan, you were a fucking jerk off, right?
Yeah,
People
like a
made
Kiss
fun
fan.
of you. You were a
Yeah,
clown.
yeah.
And I remember the whole junior high went to the movie theater. It was, at the time, Jimmy was Elwood Movie Theater, Bruce. The
Yes.
entire junior high was in this theater. And we didn't have a large junior high, guys. Probably
No.
you guys out there where we live, the junior high was probably, I think the whole
Whole
school
school.
had 300 people in it, maybe
Small.
at best, right?
Everybody knew
Anyway,
everybody's business.
yeah. Long story short,
Yeah.
the scene comes out, Hogan, Stallone, people are just huge Stallone fans, big Rocky fans. And, you know, Thunderlips puts a beating on Hogan, on Stallone. And here I am, the wrestling fan, glory. Now, I wasn't at the point, I'm not a Hogan guy, right? I'm a WWF guy, you know, Bob Backlund, Don Morocco, Greg Valentine. But Hogan was making it legitimate. He was beating up Rocky. And it's, again, it's a fake movie.
Doesn't
But
matter.
as a kid, you're all pumped up. And at that point, I literally fell in love with Hogan. And I watched him on through the mags, right? Because we didn't get AWA in
Right.
the
Torture.
year. We
Torture.
would read it about it in the mags. And then came the day where Backlund loses the belt, which was glorious. But at that point, I
Shocking.
actually, like, I used to go to the Garden
Stunned.
every month for about a year and a half. And I eventually just stopped really watching for a little bit. And in the Daily News, they would give you the results. And shocked, the Iron
Stunned.
Sheik beats Bob Backlund. Here we go. Now, me and Jimmy have watched, we've discussed this many times. We've watched all the greats, Valentine, Mass Superstar. Oh, my God. Angelo Mosca, Killer
Adonis.
Khan, Larry Zabisco, whoever. They all lost to Backlund. So in that December day when the Iron Sheik, who used to be Hossein Arab back in the day,
Hussein Arab, yep.
was back, and we were like, pfft. He was with Freddie Blassie. We already knew Freddie Blassie never wins the world title. Right. It would only belong to the Grand Wizard. Albano had won, but that was way early.
Way
Albano
back.
was the tag team guy. Wizard was the world champion. Fred Blassie was the lonesome loser of the three.
Right.
We're just like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm not even gonna watch this shit, right?
I did. Yeah.
I look in the paper. You did watch it.
Yes.
So you were in shock watching that then.
Yes. Yes. Rest in peace, Christopher McQuaid, my next door neighbor. He had. Remember in those early days, not to bore anybody, but before it became mainstream Cablevision, it was something called Huntington Cable, right, Mike?
Yeah, yeah.
And we had the. He had the special channel that had MSG on it. We didn't have it yet, and I would go next door when those monthly things would happen, and I remember sitting there. And I got a really nervous feeling when he had him in that camel clutch and Skolin. Skolin had me nervous. He did. I was like, what is Skolin doing?
Why were you nervous? You must have been jubilated, right?
No, I actually was really kind of like you were the next day when you saw the press clipping because I was in WTF mode as it's happening. I can't believe that this is the one. You remember how much we rooted for Valentine and Morocco.
Yeah.
And Slaughter before that, you always omit him. He was your first true.
Yes, you're right.
I love
but
this
remember
wrestler.
something. Slaughter, when I got into wrestling, Slaughter never got his shots at Backlund. That was much earlier.
Right. You went to school and gave people the Cobra Clutch. Do you
All the
remember
time.
that?
All the time.
And you actually had a hat and a beating stick. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's hilarious. I forgot about that.
It's the truth. You would have Cobra Clutch challenges at Harley Avenue School.
Yeah, you're right.
People would put down their lunch money on you.
The Cobra Clutch Challenge. But anyway, go ahead, Jimmy. So,
yeah.
Iron
So
Sheik
when
beats
this,
him.
I see Skolin doing this, and I'm like, you mean to tell me that this is how it ends for the great? As much as we hated him, even then, I you know, it's funny. You kind of twisted me with Backlund because I always respected Backlund, but then you were the guy who were like got me to think about rooting for the heels. And I started to do that, and I changed my mindset towards Backlund, where I kind of like started to really hate him, and that wasn't the way it was before I met you. So I started to really hate him, but respect him. It was still there because we know about his background. We always took him serious. He beat all our guys.
Yeah.
So here he is. He's going to lose, and what's worse off, Skolin's going to throw in the towel and lose it for him. It was such a shock to me. I'm like, are you serious? But when you, in hindsight, how perfect was it? It's the middleman for here he comes, Hulkamania.
Well,
Here it
that's
comes.
the thing. We didn't see that coming, and I
Right.
remember the Samoans. I forget what happened with Backlund and the Samoans, but all of a sudden Backlund's going to have a tag team match with a special partner, and here he comes out of the back, and here I am back into wrestling, totally hooked on Hogan. And
Yep.
that January date when he wins that title against a Sheik, that's one of the great matches of all time, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's everything you want to see out of, it gave you everything that you wanted to see happen. It was one of the loudest roars in the history of the look, everything changed. Everything changed.
You know, Bruce said it. It's almost still this point you forget he's gone. It's it's terrible. It's terrible.
I don't forget he's
I'll,
gone.
I'll leave it. I'll leave it with this. When I met him in Florida, it was one of the great moments of my life. I finally got to meet my idol, or at least one of my idols. And you know what? The guy was a great guy. All right, let's move on. We lost Ozzy Osbourne. I'm gonna weigh in on that, buddy.
I'll never forget the first time I heard Black Sabbath. And look, it's the 1980s, and it's a really cold winter night during winter recess. I wonder if they still have that today in high school. It usually occurred in February, and we would go to a place up in the woods called the Corral, and the kids in the high school would build a fire. And these were the early 80s days of leather jackets and long hair, and Mike hanging out with us because we had all the chicks there. Right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll never forget, and I don't know if he remembers, but Dewey, Chris Palmer, he walked over to the fire with some lighter fluid, and on the cassette player, they started playing the song Black Sabbath from a band called Black Sabbath, and he waited for the "Oh no, please God help me" and threw the lighter fluid on the flames, and I'm like, this is the greatest band I think I've ever heard outside of the Beatles. I'm like, what is this? And apparently, this very young kid was learning that this is heavy metal, and its birth origin. This is Black Sabbath, and I ran into Record World and got "We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll," the double live Black Sabbath album. It's like a greatest hits collab. If anybody knows about it, I'm sure plenty of people do. And it had all the classics on it. And then you run out and you get paranoid and you realize, oh my God, how many of these albums do these guys have that are perfect? And apparently about 6 of them. The greatest run ever. Thank God he found Sharon. I know people hate on Sharon, and sometimes I do too. But without Sharon, Ozzy doesn't even come out of a career coma because he had self-induced himself into oblivion. And Sharon was the coherent one to resurrect Ozzy and get him to take auditions. And in walks Randy Rhoads. And look, nobody wrote their goodbye more poignant and with dignity than Ozzy did this year, guys. Nobody. He seemed to know he was going to go, arranged a massive charity event where hundreds of thousands of people were there live and even millions tuned in, gave it to charity, got to say goodbye to his friends and loved ones. Like almost for a guy that was always portrayed to be the dark, that was one of the best examples of the light I've ever seen. Bruce?
Well, you have a man who transcended many generations. I mean, Black Sabbath formation in the early 70s, and going into his solo career, Blizzard of Oz. But I think of Iron Man and how big of an impact that one song had. Then you think later on he has his own reality TV show with his family. I mean, he's 50 years of relevance. I mean, the man he's touched so many people. And when I was a kid, he went from being such a dark person as a kid to being such a genuine person later on in life, and it definitely such a major loss there.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you think that wrestling was better when you were able to play actual band music, or did you like it better when they were making original music for the wrestlers?
Interesting question. Well, when you think about it, the band music you're referring to, I'm trying to think. Like with Hogan, that wasn't Derringer was involved, but that wasn't band music.
Well, you remember he came
Uh,
up to Eye of the Tiger first
Yeah, he
by
came.
Survivor,
Yeah,
right?
Well, Eye of the Tiger, yes, that was band music, and when push comes to shove, historically, that's a tough question because I loved when he was coming out to Eye of the Tiger, but what am I going to say about the song "I Am a Real American"?
Well, what
It's
about
you
Iron
know
Man with the Road Warriors?
now that's fantastic. That's unbelievable.
and
That's
the
fantastic.
perfect pairing.
But
Freebirds
Mike, I've
coming
always
out to Freebird Skinner.
Mike, I've always told you though, I don't understand why the companies do this, where they do get cheap on certain things. Thank God that they made and CM Punk wouldn't have it any other way. Thank God they were forced to make that exception for a living color.
But
You know,
however, I got to even say, going back then, you
Well,
had like the
real
Ultimate
quick, Bruce, I
Warrior.
don't want to cut you off. That's CM Punk's deal, though, Jimmy.
right? That's what I'm
WWE's not
saying. At
paying.
least they
CM Punk paid for that music, right?
right. Well, oh, you know what? Then good for him. At least somebody's fucking doing it because it's worked for him. I'm sure that that's a worthy investment. Punk will tell you that. You
What are
know.
you saying, Bruce? Now I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was more sparingly used back in the day, but even back then, some of the can music was amazing. You heard the Ultimate Warriors, boom, 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 and then
Oh,
I mean,
plenty
the
of it
whole
is.
arena was on their feet, waiting for
Plenty of
this
it is.
30-second run. Well, not even 10-second run in instead of
Right.
these 4 hour entrances we have now.
Right. My
Well, it makes business sense, though. I could get a writer like Jimmy, pay him a decent amount of money. He
right.
can make me my music, which I can trademark. Remember something: you can't sell that music, right? You can't sell Iron Man, and you got to pay them every time you use it,
You know,
right?
oddly enough, though, Mike, your favorite theme song is "Voodoo Child," and guess what? That's Jimi Hendrix.
I know, dude.
Back in
That
the
Well, when Hogan came out, the Voodoo Child,
So
dude, how great
it
was
depends.
that?
And I'm very prejudiced when I answer that question you asked me because I'm an ECW guy. You got to understand that in ECW, Heyman was just not paying anybody,
Yeah.
including Pantera. RVD used to come out to walk from Pantera, bro. And I'm telling you, the place would go ballistic. Fucking Sandman would come out to fucking enter
But as
Sandman. It was
being a musician, Jimmy,
yeah.
right? If the WWE wanted to use your music, that's one thing. But here's this little shitbox fucking federation.
They weren't
You,
though.
but they weren't big, dude, and
But they were
they.
bigger than every other little
But
shitbox in the
wouldn't you be
country.
pissed off that Paul Heyman was taking your music?
Well, something happened because when they wound up on the network, all of a sudden, the music that I remember hearing back in the day was not on the network. It
No,
had
no,
been
of course
replaced.
not. And let's remember something too.
Changed the whole thing.
The wrestler kind of made the music. So when Hogan came out to Voodoo Child, when he used to take that world championship and
Right.
play the
No,
guitar
no,
with
wait,
it was so
wait.
cool,
No,
dude.
no. The wrestler does not always make the music. Always. You made that sound like a definitive. That is not the case. Sometimes the music makes the wrestler.
That's fair.
And we've seen that happen a billion times. If I started giving examples, we'd be here till next week. All
Well,
right. So it really depends on the. Hogan didn't make Voodoo Child. Hogan just had the musical sensibility because he's a musician to know how to strut out to it and to groove with it. He ain't putting Jimi Hendrix
Dude,
over. Trust me.
listen, bro. As much as we love Hendrix, I love Hendrix. He brought that song back to life. Only so many people now knew who what Voodoo Child was, and dude, he brought
Are
that
you
back.
sure? I don't know. I don't know about
Listen,
that, dude.
I'm just telling you my feelings. I mean,
I think Voodoo Child is
listen,
one of those.
Kerry
riffs
Von
that,
Erich,
you know,
Kerry Von Erich
Right.
made Tom Sawyer, man.
Well,
I'm
you got,
sorry.
okay, well, let me hammer home without boring you real quick. Let me hammer home what Voodoo Child has meant since the moment Jimmy wrote it, because from the moment Jimmy wrote it, he changed how everybody was doing shit in the studio. But never mind that. A few years before Hogan is strutting out to Voodoo Child, someone else had already brought it back to life. And by the way, it was his direct descendant. as far as blues players go, it was Stevie Ray Vaughan, bro. Because when Stevie Ray Vaughan did Voodoo Child, it was like, holy shit. So trust me, like Voodoo Child, what I'm saying is one of those licks that is like a heartbreaker from Led Zeppelin. It's an eternal lick. So I just feel that Hogan knew what to do with it. That's all.
Listen, I agree. All right. Next up on the list of passing away, another icon, Brian Wilson, co-founding genius of the Beach Boys, celebrated for complex harmonies and the landmark album Pet Sounds. He died on June 11th at 82, profoundly shaping the 1960 rock and pop guys on Brian Wilson.
True genius. And unlike a lot of them, did not make himself loud and obnoxious publicly. He was very private kind of guy and very, very smart. When you're getting the attention in the '60s of Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney is listening to your stuff and going, "That's really interesting. I wonder if I can do something in that direction and maybe even possibly do it better." When you're making Paul McCartney think about stuff, man, you've really done something. Never mind the fact that the Beach Boys were selling all those albums and making sure Charles Manson didn't stick around, right, Bruce?
Well, they were a little before my time. I mean, I got a little bit of exposure in the early '80s to them, but overall, by the time I was exposed to them, their time in relevance had pretty much faded away. But obviously, I know who they are, and that surf rock music, wouldn't be. They were just such a big part of it.
Well, they were actually huge during their time, and it's funny. I have a funny story. It was an old man that owned a gas station. I used to do a truck driving route, and I'd go there to get the gas for the company for the truck. And one day I pull in. I used to see him all the time. Old man Frank, bless his soul. He's gone now, obviously. This was the late '80s, and the Beach Boys had come out with that fucking Kokomo song. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, gee. And that was a big hit, by the way. By the way, big hit. And I was like, ugh.
Aruba,
But Frank said
Jamaica.
the strangest thing to me. He walks up, he's got a couple of tickets. He goes, "You want these? I'll give them to you for free." I was like, "What is this?" He goes, "They're Beach Boys tickets." And I was like, "Beach Boys?" And I looked and it was at the Garden. I was like, "When is this?" He goes, "It's tonight." And I was like, and I didn't really have anything going on that night. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll take them." I went back to the crowd I hung out with. We all hung out at this guy's house because it was the place where everybody hung out. And I was like, "Anybody want to go to see the Beach Boys?" And not a single person. They all looked at me like, "No." I was like, "Okay." So nobody went. I remember I didn't go. What the fuck? I'm going to go to the Garden to see the Beach Boys by myself. So I never really got into the Beach Boys. But then, weirdly enough, 2005, I don't know, I guess I was bored and I bought a greatest hits from them. And then I realized, oh my God, these guys were great. I mean, as composers, check. Hooks, check. Harmonies, oh my God. I started being a Beatles fan, they're my favorite band, pulling apart these harmonies. I was like, oh, this was a lot more than just the gimmick that they were trapped in, but they needed that gimmick anyway. It's all in the Ian Entertainment, right, Mike?
That's what it is, Jimmy. Ian Entertainment.
Yeah, and they made sure to not keep Manson around. I guess you would have liked that, right, Mike? No Manson, right?
We also lost the great Ace Frehley, man, which I know was hard, right?
Why does the nicest, realest one have to go? I mean, first, can I be selfish? Anybody? I mean, like, look, Ace was always like, "Yeah, I fucked up. I've been a fuck up. So what? And he never got credit for when he did get sober. And he did get sober. And you know what? To his credit, he had a sustained solo career, whether I was into it or not, and I wasn't. I'm not going to pretend. I prefer Kiss's
Really?
catalog. I'm not going to be a bullshit artist, but Ace maintained a solo career his entire life. The guy had his solo career. Yeah, he was able to play clubs. He was able to make a living. Ace did it Ace's way. And as a guitar player, it's insanely underrated, undervalued. I'll put him right there with. I can't put him with Jimmy Page, but as far as the rest of those amazing guitar players that were happening during the '70s, I'll put him there. He was one of the great all-time hard rock guitarists. He was like the definition of it. If it's not for Ace, you don't get a lot of metal players. They'll be the first ones to tell you.
Other names lost: Sly Stone, Rick Derringer. Bruce, anything on Rick Derringer?
I mean, I just think of the Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo from the wrestling album too, which that's one of the things I wanted to mention earlier. You know, they don't really capitalize on these guys' themes like they used to. I can name, you know, most of those theme songs from back in the day that were on Pile Driver or the original wrestling album, and you know, nowadays I can name, you know, a few guys' theme songs, but overall, not really. It's a whole different whole different.
They got away from Jimmy Johnson. I would love to have Jimmy Johnson on, to be honest with you. That would
oh boy,
that would be the bomb, to be honest. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do our first award nominees for the biggest heel of 2025. Guys ready?
No, because before we even start, the greatest heel in 2025, it's so obvious. It's you, Mike. It's a fucking landslide, man.
You know, Jerry, maybe I should put my name up there, man. What do you think?
You know, if you were Doctor Who, you would have made sure that all the other regenerations never happened. You'd murder your own future selves to make sure you stayed.
Oh my God! All right, first up, biggest heel, John Cena. Right. Second, AEW's own Ricochet. And number 3, WWE, Braun Breaker. Bruce, you got the envelope.
All right.
Who is the biggest heel of 2000?
For me, it's got to be, out of those 3, I'm going to say, and I know you're going to disagree with me, Braun Breaker. He's had kind of that breakout year. They're going to push him to that next level. He's right on that cusp of main event status, and I think in the next few months we're going to see that push come through.
Jimmy, who do you got?
Oh God! Well, the biggest heel turn was John. Come on, stop it. And I don't agree with the public opinion that John's heel run was not good. I thought it was fine. I thought they ended it too soon, but is that really his
Jimmy,
fault?
I'm in full agreement with you. I thought it was fine. I thought, you know, he was wrestling kind of weak as a heel with the belt to the head on every match, but overall, it's like, yeah, I thought they had to play it out. I don't know why they bailed out on it the way they did.
I loved it. Look, if I'm giving a vote for the future, I'm going to say that it's Braun, but I'm not giving a vote for the future. You're asking me what happened this year. And what happened this year, when I watched his heel turn live, a guy that I worked with who was half my age, who had grown up with John the Face and loves him the way little Mike Monty loved Hulk Hogan. I watched it with him live at work, and man, oh man, he was like someone stole his Christmas presents. I said, this is a memory I'm going to remember. Even this old man is going to remember that kid's face. Guy I like, by the way, good guy. Like, holy shit, he was mortified. And I was loving every second of it. And goes back to when Mike said to me, hey, why do you always root for the good guys? And I started to love Greg Valentine. The night Valentine walked out of the garden with the belt. This is the way I was feeling while this poor kid is going, oh my God, my hero just turned. And I'm like, yes, John. What a moment. So I'm giving it to John because you can't see him. Too bad.
Well, that says a lot, but I'm going to open the envelope now. I'm opening it.
And your envelope.
2025's heel of the year.
According to you.
AEW Ricochet.
Nerd.
Unfortunately, AEW's Ricochet could not join us today because he's hanging out with that hot ass girlfriend of his. And,
okay,
dude,
smart.
Beyonce.
She's gonna leave him.
What?
I'll tell you that right now. I
heard she's going to be coming to AEW once that contract no competes up.
Now that will make me watch AEW, dude. I'll be honest with you. She's hot ass, but he's just awful. But anyway,
then
he's the winner.
Hannibal's going to come in and fight for the right for the pussy.
And be naughty. And be naughty.
And tougher.
All right. Next award is Best Interview from Monte and the Pharaoh in 2025.
Okay.
First nominee is Jerry Lynn, ECW Legend of Wrestling Storyteller.
Next question.
Oh my God.
Next question.
Second nominee, Johnny the Bull.
Hey, how you doing?
And then the third contestant is
What?
the grappler, Len Denton. And we have a few honorable mentions: Rachel Ellering, Jordan Blue, and Kerry Morton. Kerry Morton, who did a great job. Only if his internet worked, it could have been a much better interview.
If the audio weren't bad, I would have voted for Kerry Morton.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it was. So, all right, Bruce, who are we going? Jerry Lynn, Johnny the Bull, or Len Denton the grappler?
Oh, let's go with Johnny the Bull there. I'm just pulling it out of the hat.
What do you got, Vince? What do you got, Jimmy?
Did you just call me Vince?
I called you Vince.
You're
I'm like, oh my
fired.
God. Oh my God. I want to remind everybody too, Len Denton wore the mask in our interview, which you don't get, right? Just so you know.
That's true, but I'm not going to give it to him. I'm going to. And hey, where's Bill Colville? I want him as an honorable mention.
Bill Colville should. I agree. And wait a minute. Oh my God. And how about Von Erich, man?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
God, that was such a good dude. That was such a good interview. She was so good.
I actually enjoyed our brief one with Cross. I to tell you the truth, I did.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Dude,
there were really good ones. I'm not even sure why these three are in here, but that's all right.
We had a lot of good ones this year, as we always do. I'm gonna go with Jerry. Even though, because that was a touchy one, he was like, next question. I thought it was hilous.
It was like, come on, bro, really?
Yeah, I also feel like we got a lot that interview, and I love Jerry Lynn. So I mean, I thought that was my particular best of the three you're giving me.
I'm going to put a swerve in. I'm saying a tie between Bill Colville and Holly Von Erich. But unfortunately,
are we allowed to include?
No, we're really not allowed to do that. I'm going with Len Denton. I'm going to open up the envelope. Here we go, and the winner is.
What is this? Wait a minute! What is this envelope thing? Who presents the envelope? The winner is. Fuck your opinions. The winner. The envelope. What are you? The fucking.
The fans voted, and the winner is. I'm sorry, is
voted. I don't.
Len Denton, the grappler.
I could have told you that because the envelope is crooked. I could have told you that.
It's like Ted DiBiase Jr.
What kind of fucking show is Jimmy? Look into the you didn't really say this. Jimmy, look into the internet today and tell me what you think of these possible candidates. And meanwhile, the envelope knows everything. Why would I waste my fucking time licking the stamp?
All right, Bruce, you're on the floor on this one. State of pro wrestling in 2025.
Oh, it's in great shape.
What?
Absolutely amazing shape. Actually, unfortunately, it's wrestling is not where it used to be, and unfortunately, ratings are showing. Since WrestleMania, WWE has been struggling to sell out arenas across the country. They've been comping up to 20 to 30% of the building's attendance. Merchandise sales are in the tank. Unfortunately, we're seeing the ratings drop tremendously too. WWE started the year with Raw with almost 5 million viewers, and now this week they weren't even in the top 10 in the U.S. on Netflix. They've been averaging less than 2 million viewers weekly. SmackDown, it's been getting less than 1 million views at times. It's unfortunately. It's not where it should be, and hopefully 2026 will turn around some things. Maybe we'll get some relief in the pricing structure. Maybe we'll get some relief in some better angles, and I don't know where it's going to head in the long run, but right now we're not in a good place, and hopefully I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like TKO seems to care. Hey, Jimmy, how do you feel about it?
Well, first of all, Mike, if you're still out there, I'm laughing because when you first asked Bruce to respond, I didn't realize Bruce had written a prepared statement because at one point I started to realize Bruce is reading off something.
I'm not reading off of anything. I'm not reading off of anything. Mike and I have these discussions.
I could have sworn you were, so forgive me for that. But
we have these discussions.
my cat starts dry hurling up on top of my mattress over here and leaves Mount Lava while you're doing this. So I thought that was hilarious. Mike, if you're still out there, just picture all of this going on. But to respond to your question, the state of wrestling, I agree that I think we're in big trouble, but I don't know what degree of trouble we're really in until that transition that Mike foresees comes forward when UFC decides to give to a really truly even more outside conglomerate that doesn't really know the first fucking thing about anything, because you can already see that without Vince McMahon they're starting to show that nobody really seems to know the first thing about what kept it great all those years.
As
Right, Mike?
well, you want to hear how sad some of this is? So WrestleMania for this year, they have half of the building is tarped off right now. They have less than half of the building with seats available for it because they're not selling. And it's the price structure. I mean, who wants to spend $35,000 to sit at ringside?
Well, where does it cost? Where does it cost to sit, Mike? We're normal people. You know where I usually wind up
If
sitting.
you're sitting on top,
$1,000.
it's still in the 200 level.
How much money are you paying to sit up top?
I'm not. Here's the issue, the guys. This is my biggest concern. Is wrestling has always done this. It gets really, really hot for like 4 years, and then it kind of flattens out, and then it might go into a downturn, and it kind of goes with the fan base, right? Because Vince was always very smart. He played to the young people because he knew in their 30s they were the one that was going to be spending money with him once they got to that age, from 20 to 30, and then he would start over and over. Maybe not that long of a time, but the fact of the matter is Vince is no longer with the company. So now you're running it. It's almost like WCW. Now you have corporations running it. And once they bleed this dry, like Jimmy had just mentioned, they're just going to sell it off.
Absolutely.
Right. And then it's like, who's protecting? And because they're not going to wait around for the next group of people to fall in love with this again. And again, every 10 years, you get 3 hot years, and then you get 2 okay years, and then you get 5 really blah years, and then the new star comes in. That's the other thing too. Who is the guy that's going to find the next John Cena, the next Roman Reigns, the next Steve Austin, the next Dwayne Johnson? It was always Vince. Do you really believe Shawn Michaels and Triple H are going to be able to find these guys?
No way. When the average guy is smaller than me, they're not. Back in the day, these guys were larger than life. They were superheroes. They were the average person was over 6 foot. Now you have the tallest people. You have Brock Lesnar is only 6'1", 6'2". Samoa Joe 6 foot. You do have some anomalies. You have like Drew McIntyre at like 6'3", 6'4", but most of these guys coming in, they're 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", and under 200 pounds. It's not realistic.
But Bruce, I got to disagree with that. I'm not going to turn around and say Brock Lesnar doesn't look like a fucking wrestler.
He's fine.
Mike, that's Brock Lesnar, but how many Brock Lesnars are there?
The real problem, Mike, is what you said to trigger what I'm about to say, okay? What happened is now that Vince is out, and everyone knows Vince was the be-all, end-all. Vince has an idea, Vince executes it, story over. You said, who's going to be the guy to do that now? Here's the biggest problem with the way it's going and the way it's going to continue to go now that Vince is gone. Whoever that guy is, how many guys does he have to answer to in corporate to get what he wants? Right. Too many cooks spoil the broth. We're fucked. That's it. So, yeah, it's probably going to go downhill. It's probably going to be sold to somebody else. Repeat. The only time I've seen it, well, there's probably other examples, but the one time I've seen it where an outside party, Mike, you've said it a couple of times, and it's not meant to be profiling of any kind, but your fear is that like an Arab backing, because they make plenty of appearances over there nowadays, is going to come and buy it. I've seen it work once where Arab backing came in, bought something that was previously not of that background of any kind, and it worked. Oddly enough, not to bore you, Manchester City, who had spent 75 years being the second, like the Mets to Manchester United, they bought them. They've won 7 titles in the last 8 years or some shit like that. So they could catch fire. I don't fucking know. But we definitely can see where they're heading right now, and it ain't good. Case dismissed for now.
Again, you opened up talking about the Jets and their leadership.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't believe Shawn Michaels and Triple H know what the next superstar is.
They're the leaders of the camp, but they don't own the building.
Right. But here's the thing.
That's it.
Do they really know? Like, I will say this, right? I think you could have milked Roman for another 2 years, right?
Could have.
But they put him to bed. Rhea Ripley was so hot. They put
Not anymore.
her to bed. They finished her. Liv Morgan, I know, got hurt, but she was so hot. They put
Not
her
anymore.
to bed. I don't know what they're doing there. They put these guys to sleep.
They're diluting. It's very diluted now.
Yeah, LA Knight, another example. Not that I was an LA Knight guy, but I understand what you're saying, Bruce.
I'm not a fan of his, but the fans loved him.
Yeah. No,
my fear, and maybe it's not even a fear because I could really give a shit, is that 4 or 5 years from now, the WWE is just going to be a shell of itself, and those big contracts will be over, and then again, also wrestling's oversaturated. Monday Night Raw, Monday, Tuesday NXT, Wednesday AEW, Thursday is now going to be TNA, Friday SmackDown, and then AEW on Saturdays. No thanks. Who the fuck wants to watch that much wrestling? Not me.
No, I don't think anybody does. I think they either watch one or the other for the most part.
Dude, I got to be honest with you. Like, if SiriusXM offered us a position and we had to talk about this every day, I would throw up in my mouth.
Are they giving? Paying for the all the apps and all the cable and all that?
Well, you know what, dude? I mean, I don't think, honestly, like, you couldn't pay me enough. I got to be honest with you. I'd be like, this sucks. Like, I could talk football. I could talk football all day, baseball all day. I can't talk this shit. I mean, come on.
Sports in general is just ruining everything for your everyday fan that built these goddamn leagues.
And if SmackDown isn't bad enough, it's about to go to 3 hours.
Oh my God, I can't. We'll give LA Knight that extra push for a month and then pull it back. Great. Hey, more time for Penta. Settle.
And then the other thing, which Vince never used to do, and again, I'm not trying to be like any which way. You don't put your belt around someone that can't speak fucking English. Like, Stephanie Vaquera is a good-looking lady. She's a great wrestler. She can't talk. She can't talk.
Hey, Asuka got away with it, but Asuka
she didn't, though. She didn't. That's what I'm saying. As great as Asuka was, she didn't. It was over. You can't. Shinsuke, you can't do it. They can't talk.
They need Freddie Blassie.
Well, then do that. Give them a manager. My God.
Adam Cole wasn't smart enough to take the job.
All right. Women Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah.
Nominee number 1, Mercedes Moné.
Stop.
Nominee number 2, Toni Storm.
Possibly.
Nominee number 3, Chris Statlander.
What?
Who are you going with? Bruce?
All right, I'm going to have to go with the unpopular opinion. And as much as I want to vote for Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné with that title, all those title collections, she probably was the most relevant out of all of those women. Unfortunately, yeah, Jimmy, she was everywhere. If you turn on the independent circuit, she's there. You turn on AEW, she's there. She was everywhere outside of WWE. You saw Mercedes Moné.
Wow.
I don't like her, but
what about the I don't give a shit factor? Does that count?
Wait a minute. What's this guy's name? Podcaster of the Year, Hannibal. You know what, dude? Okay. Sometimes you have to give people credit for funny stuff. You know what I mean? Good job. Good job.
Yeah, that was good.
What's about this one? Are you all wearing sunglasses in tribute to Kevin Castle? No.
What?
Again, we loved Kevin Castle. He was great. But I don't know why we were wearing sunglasses ever since we started this gig.
It's bright in here and I'm high. Next.
All right, where are you going with, Jimmy? That's a good answer.
Yeah. Wow. Oh boy. Well, I know who's best in the ring, probably the way I preferred, and that's the third one. But no. I want to give it to Storm. Fuck that shit. I'm not giving it to Mercedes Moné. I don't give a crap what she does anyway. It doesn't matter to me.
All right. Well, let me open the envelope.
Oh, here we go.
Winner is
envelope. The fucking envelope.
Mercedes Moné.
You know what? Mike, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to save that envelope so when I see you again, when I'm lighting my cigarette, I can say hi to it. Fuck
All
that
right.
envelope. That
Here's
envelope doesn't know
the all
shit.
important subject. Hold on.
Oh, fucking envelope.
The all important subject is the Monte and the Pharaoh feud of the year
You
2025.
got a couple of hours.
Nominee number one.
Wait, weekly?
Yeah, daily.
Hannibal at number one. Nominee number
That's
two.
so naughty.
Mario Mancini and Paul Roma.
Mario Manuini.
And number three, Conan and Disco keeping it 100. Bruce, what do you got?
All right, I'm not going to say the Hannibal one because I think that can still has some life left in it because I don't think it's resolved. I'm going to go with Mario Mancini because he was probably the most fun to pick on, and he really got so upset over it.
He did get really upset over it. That was a long feud. That was a long feud. Jimmy, what are your thoughts?
Well, so much for Conan. We're going to be on the Believe Network next year, so it's like the profit.
I know. Guess wrong again, Conan. By the way, if anyone doesn't know, that Conan on his show predicted that we would be off Believe by the end of this year, and there's only one day left, and it seems like we're still okay, especially with these sponsors. But anyway, nice try, Conan. Next.
Yeah. Way to go, Tuco. And this isn't meth. Anyway, man, Weenie. You know what? And it's weird with Hannibal. You're right in a way, Bruce. It's obviously it's to be continued. ... Like a really bad Lost in Space episode, but because we know who's lost in space here, the lotion in the basket guy. So yeah, I guess we'll go on irritable factor because it takes quite a bit to irritate us after all these years, even me at this point. He's Mario Manuini. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mario Manuini. I know the envelope's gonna have some stupid fucking idea instead, but well, maybe not. We'll see if the envelope finally gets something right tonight.
Did we put Tony Storm over? No, we didn't put Tony Storm over. Mercedes Moné won that.
I wanted.
Did we have a feud with Peony? Wait a minute. I don't know what people see in Hannibal. The guy is a complete asshole. Yeah, I agree.
Totally.
All right, I'm going to open the envelope. Wait a minute. Who's winning the Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff Award?
Jeez.
Well, that might have to. Wait a minute. You know what? You know what? Thank you for that. We're definitely going to put that.
What?
We're going to put that in.
Listen,
and the winner, I'm going to open that envelope real quick. And the winner is the Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi.
Oh, he wasn't on the list.
Well, they just made the award, the Buck Zumhoff Award.
What? Why would he
my God.
Wow. Oh, man.
Can we forgive Conan yet for Max Moon or no? He's still mad that I played the wrong video, that it wasn't him. All right, I'm up with the envelope, and the winner is
bullshit to the envelope.
Conan and Disco, keeping it 100.
Totally.
Neither one of them could come in. Yeah, I got to tell you, that was a fun feud. As much as I enjoyed Mario Mancini, I will tell you this. I am not enjoying the Hannibal feud because I really don't like the guy.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out.
Not that I like Mancini either. Not that I like Conan either. So we got a problem, dude.
What about Kermie? I don't remember a thing.
I know.
What the fuck, Disco? Jesus Christ.
What another useless piece of shit. Unbelievable. Good stuff. Guys are making me laugh with these comments. All right, here. And this is our second to last award.
Okay.
This is the Monte and the Pharaoh worst interviews of 2025. All right.
Oh, God.
Monte and the Pharaoh take down Bubba the Love Sponge. Ron Shaw returns, and he's angry and pissed.
What?
An independent star, Evilise. Bruce?
Whatever her name was.
Ha! What the
Wow. Evil East, dude. Come on, man. Good God. Evil East. Evil East. Jimmy knew a lot of
Irrelevant
in that
East.
interview, Jimmy.
I
I would
like
take
Evil.
offense.
I like Evil East, the wrestler. Yeah. Wait a minute. Where's Allison? Whatever her name is.
Allison Kay, she didn't make the list of worst interviews.
Why not? That was horrendous. That was torture.
Horrendous. Wow.
That was torture.
That's terrible.
And then she yelled at you the next day, didn't she? Like, Mike!
Yeah, she did. Because we put up a short that she said that she's happy Hulk Hogan passed.
Oh. Is that what
I got to
your
tell you,
thumbnail said?
dude, when Rachel Ellering said what she said about Hogan
Right,
and Vince,
crickets.
whew,
Yeah.
the fucking dirt sheets were all over the place. People were flipping
Right.
out.
Right.
Poor Rachel. She was actually very cool. And I was
Was
really,
she?
let me tell
I
you
missed
something
that one.
about the show. We really do appreciate the honesty of these stars. They get asked very difficult questions.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, someone, I think Phil DeCesare sent me, someone did a thing on the top 5 wrestlers flip out during an interview segment.
Yeah.
We made 2 of them. We
Yeah.
made the
Whoa.
fucking
Curtis
Joe Henning
Axel.
one, and then
Yeah.
what do you call it? And then Hannibal with the fuck's his name? Oh my God, Wild Bill O'Rourke. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so worst interview, Jimmy, of those 3?
What's the choices again? Come on.
Bubba, Monte the Pharaoh take down Bubba the Love
God
Sponge.
gives a fuck. He's such a turd. Yeah, next.
Ron Shaw gets pissed off again.
Yeah. Okay. I like the way you put.
And
I don't
Evil
agree
East.
with any. I don't agree with any of these. In the envelope, Justin. I think I think he should get 2 special awards tonight. I think Brooklyn Brawler.
Brooklyn Brawler. All right, tell me about that. Why Brooklyn Brawler?
Because out of nowhere, he decides what our agenda is. He was like very hostile when you asked him questions that, hey, you know what kind of show this is. And I'll tell you what kind of show this is before everybody decides to tell us what kind of show this is. It's a kind of show that asks real questions, and that's a real question. And I didn't even ask it like, so tell us about Pat Patterson, Dr. Smith. I fucking asked about Pat Patterson, the man. What do you know of him? Oh, my God. Panic in the streets. Holy shit. AI gone wild. I can't. He's like going nuts on us. And I was like, okay. And then you know what's funny? Mike and I have had lots of different reactions over the years. 98% of them have been just fine. I said to Mike after the show, I was like, you know what? I think we've been doing this long enough that if somebody fucking decides they're going to cut something out of nowhere and announces it and decides what direction we're heading with a question in, fucking cut them out. Fuck them. And Mike was like, yeah, fuck them. So that's why I think he wins this category.
I will tell you, that's a very difficult thing for me, Jimmy, because when he said, if you're going to ask these questions, I'm just going to cut the interview now. And I was like, I really should be like, fuck you then. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, if you're going to ask these questions, we'll cut the interview right now because it's guys like you that keep bringing up about me. And he just went on. It was like diarrhea from the mouth. It's like, go, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what, though? I guess that's always been our way, though. We allow, people to say things about our deceased relatives on trolling. I mean, it's like, okay, everybody gets freedom of speech.
I honestly, I appreciated his honesty on it. I just thought it's like, don't get he was very aggressive. Like he was on the razor's edge from the beginning of that show.
We also think we may have gotten to the bottom of that because he gives a tip during before the rant that, I've just spoke to Vince Russo. We know how warm and fuzzy we make him feel.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, oh, you're going on those asshole shows, bro. I'm telling you, those 2 assholes, but bro, come on. It most likely happened. So there he was, ready to go. Oh, Vince Russo told me about you guys. Well, you know what? You came on.
Let me ask both of you guys.
Go.
Do you think the Brawler was in a relationship with Pat Patterson personally?
No fucking idea, bro. How you like that, bro?
The rumors have been there for 30 plus years, long before there was, the modern internet the way it is. It was in the dirt, the pseudo dirt sheets before that. So I don't know, but
really, but what does it matter if the guy
It's not my
was
business.
gay, it doesn't matter. It's really not that big
Look,
of a
if
deal.
he's
It's-
going to be guilty by association because of his position historically, he wound up being in Vince's ear. So he's going to be guilty by association to plenty of people. I can understand that. You and I are bottom line people. We want to see the proof, and is he been arrested for it? The answers are no to
No,
these things.
you're right.
So I have no fucking idea. Getting back to go full Lion King, I don't have any fucking
Well,
idea.
I will tell you this. I got to ask you this, Jimmy and Bruce. Okay.
Yeah.
Once we went to start talking about the Ring Boy scandal, he was just as like bent about that, and it was like,
Right.
okay.
Right.
Here's the thing. Let's not say there wasn't something. Okay, facts. They were using younger boys or men to put the rings up. Some identified as underage, right? This is fact, right? Whatever they were doing. No one got arrested, nothing. And Jimmy, you said it before, the whole Tom Cole thing was of age, 18 years old, a gay man hits on him. He doesn't like it, and he goes and sleeps in a van. I mean, that's, and then, Lee Cole tells a story that Pat Pattis used to lick his lips. I mean, okay, who the fuck? I mean, seriously, who gives a fine fuck? I mean, it's like some of the dumbest accusations of all time. But here's the thing. If there was underage things going on there, that's a big problem. But the way he was coming out, it was almost like, whoa, bro, whoa, what are you getting all like, all you had to say was, because I really wanted the questions, Jimmy and Bruce, to go into, well, if this was going on, how do you feel about these people that still talk about it to this day when they did nothing about it? But he, I got to give him credit right off the bat. He said, it wasn't happening, and I'm not, it never happened. It's bullshit. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, that's his thoughts, but he didn't have to be like, to me, he was being a douchebag about it. He didn't have to answer the way he did. It's really that simple. Look, whether he's going to be guilty by association or not, that's not my job when I ask him a fucking question. I'm asking him a question because it's on the sheet and it fucking applies to his history. Fucking answer it. The fuck? I'm not looking for personal shit. It bothered the shit out of me that he didn't know the history of our history with our opinion on the Ring Boy thing.
Right.
Did something happen? Possibly. What have we heard and seen so far? Not much.
Not much, right.
And
That's fair.
resent, I tell you what I really resent. I resent when he said, well, you guys are the reason why it's still alive. What? You and I have been doing a podcast for 8 years, but what
Well,
about
to be
all the
fair,
years in
Jimmy, we
between?
were the ones that resuscitated the Ring
I'm not
Boy.
going to say we weren't, but to say that it hasn't still been talked about in between all the years leading up and that we were a necessary spark to have it continue, we didn't file a lawsuit just now.
No, right.
What the
Fair
fuck
enough.
are you talking about? If we really are these two schnooks from New York that can't do anything, why do we have to bear the enormous responsibility of being the reason why this is still going on? Piss off! What? You understand what I'm saying?
Honestly, dude, if Ron Shaw wasn't such a dickhead, I would fucking ask him to come back on to talk about the Brooklyn Brawler because he was around during then too, right?
You want me to talk to him again? That's what I had to do last time.
Ah, fuck him, man. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about it later.
Yeah, whatever,
All right,
man.
the worst interview of the year, envelope, please.
Oh, the envelope.
Out of the back, the Brooklyn Brawler wasn't on the list, but he came in out of the back end of it, so why not? Get it? He came in out of the back end of it.
Oh, that's
no good.
Oh,
Okay.
that's terrible.
I tried.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
It wasn't bad.
Final group, Wrestler of the Year. Cody Rhodes. John Moxley. By the way, Moxley's getting bigger. He must be out of juice.
Oh, or beer.
Gunther is our third nominee. What do we got, Bruce? Who are you going with?
This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Gunther though, even though he's just starting on his role. He's proved that he's world championship material. He sent Cena packing, so he is our future.
By the way, Hannibal won Baby Huey of the year. Good job. Jimmy, what do you think?
Yeah, Gunther. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Well, he's He's the best of those three. He's been the best wrestler for quite a while, technically, and yeah, he got the big win. I mean, I can't be inconsistent. If John Cena won what he won, then yeah, Gunther.
I'm going to go with Gunther too. Gunther has the potential to be a very good heel at this point.
Okay.
But we got to go to the envelope. And
Oh,
the winner
what is the envelope thinking? Andrew Anderson or something like that?
The envelope says Gunther
Wow.
is the heel of the year.
Look at the envelope redeeming itself.
Can I ask you guys a question? So I know you guys didn't watch Raw last night, but he wrestled R-Truth, right?
Okay.
Do you think he should have just really just beat the shit out of R-Truth and like wouldn't stop beating him up? Like the old school thing when the heel just wouldn't stop and would just get disqualified because they continually would just beat the shit out of the guy?
How cool would it have been for him to retire R-Truth on that spot? Continue that retirement angle. Say, oh, not only did I put your hero Cena out, now I'm going to run through the roster and put these guys out, because they're setting up for those retirement angles anyway for the year.
Listen, I just don't know how you play into that, Bruce. It's like, how do you retire R-Truth unless he wants to retire? But you could have beat 55 years old. Like you could have put him out with the sleeper, then woke him up, and then put him out with the sleeper again. You know what I mean? Or just not let go of the sleeper, but then have a whole bunch of people just jumping on him to get him off R-Truth before he does damage. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Jimmy? What do you think?
How come nobody's jumping on this? Wait a minute. You're telling me that this is what Gunther, fresh off of John Cena, you're telling me that this is who he's working with?
Well, R-Truth is John Cena's best buddy, right? So he came out.
I see. So I'm supposed to care about that. All right, I got you. At least there's some sort of storyline thing. That's true.
Jimmy, you're killing me.
I mean, it's the small details that But you know what? It still doesn't mean a fucking thing, and I don't care. This is the problem with WWE. This is the problem. Gunther should be moving on to something bigger, like right away.
But who? Where?
You're going to put SmackDown 3 hours. You're going to put this show over here, this show over there. Pay this for this, pay that for that. And here you go. Gunther, fresh off of retiring. John Cena. Here's R-Truth.
But Bruce brings up a good point, Jimmy. Where are they going? Like, who's he going to go with?
What? I don't know.
CM Punk's feuding with Braun Breaker, right? Cody Rhodes is with Drew McIntyre for the last 40 months. I mean, this doesn't go away.
No. You know what's funny? And did you see? I think I did see this. Did you see Bronson Reed throw a punch like a pre-planned swing and miss punch and turn around to be hit from behind? It was one of the worst choreographed things I've ever seen. I was yeah, and this is the big mean guy. I'm like, awful.
We got a great comment, right, from Keith Guth. I'm sorry, Keith, if I'm slashing your name. John Cena should come out with a dirty yellow dog Midnight Rider mask and make another run. How great would that be, dude? Dirty yellow dog. That would be crazy. No, you're not into that, Jimmy, huh?
No, for some reason I'm seeing Hogan as the Patriot, Mr. whatever he was, or Captain. No. No, that wouldn't work. No.
I liked him when he was Mr. USA, dude. That was great.
Vince McMahon's like, "You're Hulk Hogan."
He's like, "No, I'm not, brother." The greatest thing ever.
No, the Giant Machine was the best ever. That's not Andre. That's not Andre.
What about Shawn Michaels' tag team partner, God?
Dude, that was great, dude. That was good stuff.
Mike, the spotlight goes on and there's nothing there.
Shawn is trying to tag and no one's helping him. It's fucking awesome, dude.
God, help me.
Dude, this is a perfect opportunity for Hannibal to get into the WWE, man. Could you imagine he came out in the Blood Hunter mask?
I'll fight you, Monte the Pharaoh. I'll fight you for the right to talk to Bruce.
Who is this newcomer coming to the WWE? I am the Blood Hunter.
Oh my God, he's striking the ring bell.
Listen, we know they changed the gimmicks when they go to WWE. It's going to be the butt sniffer, not blood.
The butt
The
sniffer?
butts.
Wow.
What's his entrance music?
What's his finishing move? The cornhole crush?
I want to.
That's a
sniff your
great
butt.
one. The cornhole crush.
Hey,
Oh my
shut up
God,
with
he's
the
using a cornhole crush.
Stand still.
Here's a question
Dum,
for
dum.
people out there. Answer this for me. So Hannibal has like 500,000 subscribers, right? And if you just do the math, of those 500,000 subscribers, 10% of them put the bell on to be alert, right? We'll just say 10%, which is a high amount, right? So 10% of 500,000 subscribers is 50,000 people, right? Is that math right? I think so,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
How come when he puts a video up, is he not at least getting 5,000 views every video?
Well, we know we know other people that we've watched grow their channel from a couple thousand people to get their own plaques, and only get a few hundred views.
Oh, wait a
Well,
minute. Before he says Hannibal's finisher is he bores you into submission with his phone. Oh my God. How great would that be? I'm going to get you. I can't stay awake. Ring the bell. He can't stay awake. Hannibal has made him go to sleep. Unbelievable. New champion, Hannibal.
I was supposed to give you a headlock. Wait. Well, here's the problem, Mike. Going back to the 500,000 subscribers, if you could reach out to these subscribers, I'm pretty sure that about 400,000 of them sound something like this: "Hello, we are Hannibal's subscribers. We were purchased and made in a lab first and foremost." I mean, and the 100,000 remaining, only about like 20,000 or so still remotely pay attention. And that gets down to, why does his video still have whatever? Because once upon a time, he was, like you said, first to the party and things were great. Well, things obviously ain't so great now. So let's talk about UFOs.
Someone actually brought up a good point on our channel. He said he's been around so long, which makes sense. All these people subscribe. At this point, these people like aren't even on YouTube anymore, but they left their accounts open.
Well,
Or they
subscribers
just
stay
don't
unless they
care.
click off. Right. Yeah.
Right. They just don't even pay attention. So
Right.
it kind of makes sense, I guess. Someone put Hannibal cares more about UFOs.
Well, I'd like to. At one point, he had over 1 million subscribers. What happened to all those guys? All those subscribers?
This guy, Tyler the Perfectionist. He looks like he's like got a tank top on or no shirt on. I got to look at that. Can I make this thing bigger? I want to see what this guy looks like.
What are you doing?
Oh, this fucking guy is like Tyler the Perfectionist. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me see. I can't really see. You are going to have to put Hannibal over, dude. I don't know. He's got like, I think he's flexing, I think.
I can't tell.
I can't tell either. Bruce, can you tell? Let's look at that guy. What is it? What does it look like?
I thought he was holding a fishing pole and flexing with the other arm.
So when you fish, you pose? Is that what happens?
I have no idea.
Holding his fishing pole? So sounds kind of.
Hey, come on, don't make fun of the guy. He's
I don't
fishing
know what's
and posing.
going on here. Don't get mad at me. I can't even see.
He's fishing and posing. Give the guy a break. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Don't you do that when you fish? You pose. Hey, let me catch some fish.
I don't go fishing. I don't fish.
Hey, he's saying he's got 20-inch arms.
Is that what he said? Hold on.
Yeah.
It's all good, brother.
He's got 20-inch arms. Hold on, dude. I've got 23, or at least I used to have 23.
Nice.
Maybe I have 20 now. I've shrunk up a little bit. But I don't fish and pose. I podcast and pose.
I got a large member.
I've got. Did he really write that? Damn, 20 and 3 lucky dogs says, damn, 20-inch guns.
Oh,
Great.
you guys with your weights. Jesus.
Who's this guy? Hold on. This guy Randall says, 20-inch arms, my ass.
Randall.
Wait a minute, is he talking about me or the
No,
fishing
Randall's
guy?
mad. I look at Randall's like, no, you said yours are 23. He's specifying the 20-inch.
No, I said they used to be 23. Now they're probably like 20.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay. Where'd you
I've
go?
shrunk. I'm old. What do you want from me to do? What the hell do you want me to do? But is Randall saying I'm lying or is Fishing Man? Randall, which one is it? Fishing Man or me?
Randall, it's very important that we find out. Not.
It is. It's important. What do we have here? Rib Shark. How big is the fishing pole for shots? Oh, I'm loving this right now. Hanny is a man with a 26 brain cells. Wow. Yeah, that's right. Hannibal's got 20-inch arms and 26 brain cells.
I have to disagree with that. That's his entire fan base. Their collective brain cells.
Wow. Think so?
Oh my God. Zombie, your favorite guy, Jimmy, says, who's Hannibal?
You don't want to know, Zombie. You're better off, man.
Zombie, just hang in there and just.
He doesn't like
right
Zombie,
at the end of the show
like
that
us.
he was watching on the live stream. Jimmy loves that comment. Jimmy calls.
Zombie changes. So, and it's funny too. Zombie. I always tell Mike. I'm like, I go to the comments section after the show because I want to check out the show and see how we did and stuff, And I'm like, oh, there's comments, and it's like,
oh my God,
what?
Oh my God, some brilliant. Check this out. This is brilliant. Some smart people in this room today. Someone should buy a Ric Flair cameo and say it's for Hannibal. Oh my God, dude! If I didn't want to spend if I had $600 just like waste, I would be like, Rick, make me a Hannibal cameo.
Hannibal, I'm looking at you. Woo! You have no penis, no business talking about penises.
Oh, you know what? I might have to ask Jim Cornette to make a Hannibal.
Oh, he doesn't like us either, though.
I know.
Nobody likes us, Bruce. Look, you see what we've gone and done?
Yep. That's why.
Yep.
That's why. Hey, that's why Mike's the heel of the year.
Yeah, totally.
Hannibal Hep C levels are higher than the subs. There's some classic lines going on here, dude.
Wow. That one's like, wow.
This is Hannibal TV, where I've got 500,000 subs, and my Hep C blood is at 482.
Fuck.
Where did 20-inch arm guy go with the fishing pole? He left. You hurt his feelings. Come on, man.
Who did?
You, Jimmy.
What the fuck did I do?
You made fun of his pole.
I couldn't see. I wanted to know what he was holding.
So right now he's trying to change his profile picture on YouTube.
I hate Monte the Pharaoh, too. By the way, have you seen that?
Wait a minute. You know what Rip just says? Gone fishing.
Nice, Rib. That's for a future short, Rib. You got to do that. Oh
my God.
Fabulous.
Oh, my God. All right. Anyway, we got to leave everybody on here for the. Keith says he feels like he's watching Hannibal in slow motion. All right. I think that's it, guys. Anyway, we want to wish everybody a happy new year. Thanks for joining us. It was a fun show. I'm sorry that the results weren't what everybody was looking for.
Fucking envelope.
Yeah, no, Jimmy. You are right. The envelope was just
piss poor.
Just not right. It was piss poor.
Had a little good.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what we forgot? Can we just do one more thing?
Sure. What do you got?
I blew it. So just hang out. Ready?
Shut up and wrestle.
Are you ready?
Shut.
Yeah, tell me what you think here. That one fucking.
There in the road, straight ahead. A car stalled, the engine was dead. I could stop, so I swerved to the right. I'll never forget the sound that night. The screaming tires and the busted glass. The painful scream that I heard last. Oh, where can my baby be?
Someone please tell Hardy to stop singing.
So
Can someone in the wrestling world, the IWC, please tell Jeff Hardy to hang it up?
See, this
So
is
I
what happens.
gotta say something. I've got these sunglasses on, and at first the Christmas lights in the background, the white ones, it looked like there were a bunch of people with the lighters on. I'm like, there's no way there's that many people. Took them off, and I could see what was really going on there.
But dude, do you see the crowd too? The crowd is like a bunch of wackadoos. How about this one? Please. I think we could fairly say
Shut up and wrestle.
Yeah.
you're a talentless fool.
He should do a cover of "I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing." I want to hear Jeff Hardy do that.
Dude, are you kidding me right now?
I'd like to teach the world to sing. Oh, it'd be great. Come on.
Lane Staley says, all right, I'm going to get in trouble, but that's it. We got to get out of here.
Lane
Things I'm
Staley
about to say. You talk about heel 2026. I got to get out of here.
Just warming up, my friend. Just warming up.
Jimmy, send us out, baby.
You've been watching the New Year's edition of Monte the Pharaoh with Baruch. And until next time, later.
Hey man, what you gonna do when it all comes back to you? Think man, what you gonna say when it all falls away? Today, nothing have I found. Take a look around above the ground. There's no love out on the streets today. It's a mystery. Some say there's a better way. People love to talk to ease the pain. No way it's ever gonna solve a thing. Speak out, love to hear your voice. War and hate that seem to be the drugs of choice. Tell me what tomorrow brings. It's a mystery. Open your eyes to truly see that there's no more time left for you and me. Now such a mystery that we refuse to see. Look at our history. Now here is you and me.
Couple things I want to cover, Jimmy.
Yeah.
500 level has now improved on the M&P code. Now go to MP30 for 30% off. Jimmy, I got to tell you something, right? I was at the beach, again, 500 level. If you guys haven't looked at the shirts, right, go to the website. It's incredible. And I got to be honest, right? So it was a little chilly today. I brought the dogs to the beach. I was off work for the Jewish holidays,
today.
right?
It's cold.
It was cold,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I have from 500 level, I have a Roman Reigns sweatshirt. Now, usually sweatshirts are not always the nicest fabric, unless I'm into really nice fabric because I just don't like things up against my skin. So usually I'll get thinner type of shirts, but this is a heavy sweatshirt. The fabric, unbelievable. And you're going to get a deal at 30% off, Jimmy. I mean, my God, it's a no-brainer, guys. I am telling you, once you get one shirt from them, you'll get 50. I guarantee it. And they've got all the sports. Yeah, dude, tell me what you think of it, Jimmy.
They're so comfortable. I got to get a long sleeve now. I'm telling you, I got it. because it was chilly today, especially for a guy who's been in Panama City Beach the last 2 years. It was chilly today, and I love the material. It's so silky. Is that the right word for it? I don't know.
No, absolutely, absolutely, dude.
It's so comfortable. So yeah, I got to get myself some leveled long sleeves. That's for sure. 30%
And again,
off.
it doesn't. They got plenty of wrestling stuff. They got baseball stuff. They've got football. They got everything, dude. MMA. They got it all, man. And I'm telling you, it's very high quality. Again, 500 level code MP30, 30% off. So if a T-shirt costs you $20, what's 30% off on $20, dude?
It's enough. 10 plus another 20% tacked on top. Not much. It's a steal. It's a steal.
I agree. I want to remind everybody too, the Monte The Pharaoh show, hit the QR code, be willing to check out our shows on YouTube, where we got almost 24,000 subscribers. Go to our Facebook page where we're approaching 27,000 subscribers. And again, if you feel like donating to the show, please go to the Monte The Pharaoh webpage, hit donate. Helps us bring in more guests. Trying to entertain Jim. We've got the big event coming up, so a lot of good stuff happening right now.